Hello, everybody. It's good to see you. Mr. Knowles here. I hope you had a good break. It's been a very strange start back to school, I know. For some of you, though, who are in school, good to see you. Great to see you. For those of you who aren't, I'm really sorry. I'd love for you to be in, and I'd love to see you more. But sadly, it's not possible at the moment. Pesky virus. But you, by you staying at home, you're doing your thing to stop the spread of it. So well done. You're doing the right thing. I'm going to do an assembly today. It's all about New Year's resolutions. So let's get going. First of all, I'd like you to take a few seconds thinking about something that you're looking forward to happening this year. Have a good think. I can tell you my three. I've thought of them. The first one I'm looking forward to is for lots of people to be vaccinated against COVID-19, because that's going to be so important so that things can get back to normal. My second one is I want school to go back to normal. I want you all in school, and those people who are in school, I want you to be able to have school like it used to be. So going on school trips, going on things like school camp, having visitors into school, you being able to all play together. That's what I'm really looking forward to. And the third one I'm looking forward to happening this year is being able to see my family. Not my immediate family, because I get to see them all the time, my wife and my 3 children, but what I'm really looking forward to happening is being able to see my wider family. So my mum, my dad, my 2 sisters, my brother-in-laws, my aunt and uncles, and my cousins. I'm really looking forward to those things happening, because at the moment they can't, and I'm finding it really frustrating. Just like you are, I'd imagine. So those are the things that I'm looking forward to happening this year. You may have different, may have the same. Before we get on to the next part of the assembly, I just want us to think about our RBOTs. Can you remember them? Let's have a think. R1 is reflectiveness. R2 is resilience. R3 is resourcefulness. And R4 is reciprocity. So we're going to be thinking about R1 today, about reflectiveness, because that's what we need to do at the beginning of the year. We need to reflect. So here we have the RBOT. He's just, I can't remember which way it is, but it's one of these directions. We've got our RBOT 1, reflectiveness, and it's always ready, willing and able to think about learning. And that's what we need to be. We need to be ready, willing and able to think about learning all the time. So things we can do is we can look carefully, study the situation. We can think about what we do and how we do it. Think about what we know. Have I done something like this before? Let's have a think. And think about what we are learning and make links to what we've learned like it in the past. And that's what we need to do when we are reflecting. It also links, though, quite neatly with our values. And one of our values is hope. And hope is thinking. And hope is thinking about the future and thinking about how, thinking about it in a positive way and think about how we can get to the place that we want to be. And so that kind of links that, well, it does link directly with reflectiveness. Reflectiveness is how we think about learning and how we think about the things that we do and the things that we've been doing. So it's always about reflecting on what we've done to try and make ourselves better at something in the future. This is something that we do at the beginning of each year. We think about the past year that we've had. So we think about 2020, and we think about what's going to happen in the year in front of us. And this idea about thinking about what's gone on and what's coming forward and what's going to be coming around the corner is not a new thing. In fact, one of the Roman gods, Janus, he had 2 heads, and not 2 heads. He had 1 head, but with 2 faces, and you can see that in the picture in the statue. And the reason why that is so that he could look forward and see what was coming, but he could also see what was going on behind him, and he'd see things that have passed. So he could see the future, but he could also see the past. And that's what we need to do. And one of the things we do at the beginning of the new year is we make some New Year's resolutions. And I'm going to read you a story now all about that. So let's go to the story. Today's story is called Squirrel's New Year's Resolution by Pat Miller, and the pictures are by Kathy Ember. There we are, we can see him eating his breakfast there. But that'll probably come in later in the story. Squirrel pinned up her brand new Nut of the Month calendar. It's January 1st, the radio said. A great day to make a resolution. Make a resolution? Wondered Squirrel. How do you do that? Bear might know. She went to see Bear at the Lone Wood Library. Happy New Year, he said. Same to you, Bear. Do you know how to make a resolution? Is it like making a snack? Bear laughed. Resolutions are more important than snacks. More important than snacks? Said Squirrel. What is a resolution? A resolution is a promise you make to yourself to be better or to help others, Bear said. When we begin a new year, we make a fresh start. Wow! Did you make a resolution? Asked Squirrel. I did, Bear answered. I resolved to teach others how to read. I'm going to teach Skunk as soon as she gets well. Oh no, Skunk is still sick, Squirrel thought, as she hurried to Skunk's house for a visit. She forgot all about making a resolution. Skunk was sick of being sick. I'm stuck in bed until Dr. Owl says I'm better, said Skunk. I would rather be learning to read. That's my New Year's resolution. Squirrel knew how to cheer her up. She hid at the foot of the bed. She popped up and she shouted, "Boo!" Skunk giggled. Hide and skunk was her favourite game. Squirrel popped up again. Boo! And again. Boo! By now Skunk was laughing hard. Just then, Dr. Owl came by. Skunk, I can tell by your laughter that you're feeling much better, he said. Now you can visit Bear. Just make sure you have a healthy lunch first. Lunch, thought Squirrel. She headed towards the hidey-hole diner. Maybe someone there can help me with my resolution. On her way, she met Mole and Turtle. Mole was holding a map close to his nose. What are you doing? Asked Squirrel. Turtle and I resolved to plant a garden, said Mole, but I can't find a good place to dig with all these trees. Wait here, said Squirrel. She dashed up an oak tree and looked down. She spied Wildcat Creek, and on its bank a perfect place for a garden. Squirrel scampered down and led Mole and Turtle through the woods to the edge of the creek. She helped them stake out string for the borders of the garden. Thanks, Squirrel. I will start digging right after lunch, said Mole. Lunch, thought Squirrel, and she rushed away. She still hadn't thought of a resolution. At the diner, Squirrel chose a stool next to Porcupine. He looked grumpy. What's wrong? Asked Squirrel. I resolved to be less grumpy, so I'm trying to laugh more, but I can't think of anything funny. I can help you think of something funny, like why did the squirrel run back and forth across the road? I don't know why, asked Porcupine. Because she was nuts, laughed Squirrel. Porcupine laughed too. I get it. That reminds me. What's stripy and bouncy? Tell me, giggled Squirrel. Skunk on a trampoline, said Porcupine. Squirrel laughed herself right off the stool. Porcupine said, That's a good one. I better write these down. Off he went to find a paper and pencil. Squirrel felt left out. Porcupine has a resolution. So do Bear and Skunk and Mole and Turtle, she thought. I'm the only animal in the forest who hasn't made a New Year's resolution. Rabbit came to take Squirrel's order. Would you like to try my New Year's special? Asked Rabbit. Sure, said Squirrel. Maybe it will help me make a resolution. I wish I knew how. Think of a way to improve yourself or a way to use what you're good at to help others, said Rabbit. Squirrel ate her lunch special and thought hard. Just then Skunk came in. I need a healthy lunch. Thanks to Squirrel, I'm feeling better. Sit with me, Skunk, Bear called. I see you bought our first book. Turtle and Mole came in next. What do you have for two thirsty animals who just started a garden? Said Mole. Squirrel found a terrific place for it, said Turtle. Porcupine hurried in. Do you know why Bear said caw caw? Before anyone could answer, Porcupine said, He was learning another language. All the animals laughed. I didn't know you were so funny, said Mole. Me either, said Porcupine. Squirrel got me started. Rabbit said to Squirrel, You're doing a good job on your resolution. I Didn't know I had one, said Squirrel. Your actions are better than words. It looks like you resolved to help someone every day, said Rabbit. Really? Asked Squirrel. I did it. I made my first resolution. Hooray for Squirrel! Shouted all the animals. It was going to be a very happy new year. And you can see there that Squirrel says, I resolve to help someone every day. What a great resolution. I hope you enjoyed the story. Now it's time to make the resolutions. So you need to think about something that you want to get better at, or you want to improve, or you want to do, and then you need to write those down and make sure that you do them. So I've come up with 3 New Year's resolutions for myself. I'm going to read more and keep a reading diary. At the moment, I'm normally so tired when I get into bed that I don't read. I normally listen to something. What I need to do is I need to read, because actually reading is really good for me, and it does make me sleep better. So I'm going to make sure that I read every night when I get into bed. One of the other things is I keep a notebook, and in my notebook I stick things and I draw things. Last year I didn't do much drawing in there, so this year I'm going to try and do more drawing in my sketchbook. And finally, I'm going to move more. I ride my bike to work every day. I ride it here and I ride it back, but I don't really ride it any other time. So I'm going to make sure that I spend at least 30 minutes on my bicycle every day, no matter if it's a Saturday or a Sunday or a weekday, and even if it's raining or snowing, I'm going to make sure that I ride my bike for 30 minutes every day. So finally, I want to know from you, really. I want you to think about it. I want to think about it, and you can think about it in relation to your learning. And I want you to think about what will your New Year's resolutions be. Now, at the moment, it's quite difficult because some of us are at home and some of us are at school. But you might think of something that you think, actually, I'm going to do that every day. And one thing that I have to say that everybody could do is read more. It's one of mine. It could be one of yours. So making sure that you spend a little bit of time every day with your nose in a book. Excellent. I will see you all soon. Take lots of care. Bye-bye.